300 years, we prepared, we grew stronger. While you rested in your cradle of power, believing your people were safe and protected.
It's been a long time coming, but finally we're getting our hands on the Old Republic. How exciting is it to get to see people, try it out here?
Oh, it's very exciting. It's kind of neat to sit down and watch people play for the first time. We've been playing the game a lot internally, and it's nice to actually get out and have people play it outside of our group, so it's kind of fun.
It's got to be stressful to try and sort of tell people about a game in this short amount of time, a game as deep as the Old Republic.
Yeah, that's the bad thing about MMOs is it's so deep and rich, you really can't get a feel for it. We're trying to give like a good little encapsulated section so people can get a great understanding of what they're seeing. But you're right, it's really hard to explain a game that's so deep and rich in a very short period of time. So you're right.
And also for an MMO, you're trying to do something a little bit different with the story, and you're trying to make it more of a role-playing experience, more of a deep story, right?
Yes, our goal is to actually add the fourth pillar, we call it, into an MMO, which is story. And so your decisions matter in our game. And basically it's all voice-overs, so basically you really feel immersed, including your characters. So our idea is to make it very immersive experience for people, and they feel like really compelled to play. And it actually has a story, and you follow your story's path. And as you're following your path, you progress in the game. So it's actually, every class has its own unique story, so it's kind of cool. And replayability is if you finish one class, you can go to another class, and it has an entirely different story.
How do you merge that with like typical MMO guild play and then, grouping up together and playing and with that deep story?
Well, we have a deep story, but you can do a lot of things outside of the story. So there's exploration, there's combat, and crafting and other things you see in traditional MMOs. There are guilds and there are raids and there are battlegrounds and things like that. So, there are definitely things that in our game you see in traditional MMOs you will be in our game as well. And story is an important part because we believe that, a lot of people enjoy a good narrative, right? And so people love KOTOR, and we wanted to take that KOTOR experience and put it in a massively multiplayer game. And the great thing about it is that you do have multiplayer dialogue system that we have where you have a group of small party that can go with you and play the story with you. So that's kind of a neat little thing that we've added to the game to allow for group play.
I think that from a universe perspective, I mean, Star Wars is such a given for an MMO, but the Old Republic is almost a better universe to set an MMO in. What would you say is like the main things that make it a great universe for an MMO?
Well, one of the things is it's Star Wars, right? And that right there. And it's also set way before the movies, which gives us a lot of power to do what we want to do. And that's why KOTOR was originally designed where it was, because it gave us the freedom to build a world that hasn't been seen before and familiar enough for Star Wars fans. So it's kind of neat. And basically what we did is everyone wants to play a Jedi or everyone wants to be a Jedi in our game, right? And the thing about our game is it allows people to be their fantasy in the Star Wars game, right? Realize it. And so, we're being able to provide that for the player. We're being able to play in the world, so it's kind of cool.
Because that's sort of a logical leap. Like if you set it in like Star Wars during the episode 1 through 6, it would be kind of hard to have Jedi's running around and
absolutely. It gives us a total freedom to do what we want, right? And that's the thing about it is we want to make sure that people realize their dream when they play our game, right? And everyone wants to, like I said, do the different things that they've seen in the movies. And so it allows us to give that capability by being in such a different time frame than the movies.
What's the specific setting of the story? Like what is the player thrown into when the game starts?
Well, basically it's 300 years after KOTOR, right? So there's, as you've seen, there's in the trailer, you see the destruction, and there's a lot of friction between, the Empire and the Republic, basically the Jedi and the Sith and everything associated with the Empire and the Republic at that particular time. So, and that friction is how we develop, because it is a Star Wars game, and it is about combat, and it's about exploration, and it's about advancement, and So we want to make sure there's lots of conflict and lots of tension in our game, and every story kind of centers around that war. We're right now showing our game. We wanted to make sure before we showed our game we had something playable. That was key to us. That it's not vaporware. And people can come down and play the game. And that's, to us, very important. So that's why we don't talk about things a lot, because we want to make sure before we talk about them, it's already done and locked down.
Thank you very much for your time.
You were deceived. And now your republic shall fall.